go down in history with a sad Statue of Liberty and a generation that didn't agree. You and me will all go down in history with a sad Statue of Liberty and a generation that...
Hose hooked up here after we're done brazing. Got our nitrogen tank. Had our nitrogen tank hooked up. I got it unhooked now, as you can see, because we got a pressure in it. So got as close to around 175 as I can get, which is going to be 174.9, which is fine. And basically, you know, a lot of guys do it at a different pressure. Some guys do it at 50, some guys do it at 100, some do it at 200. It just really doesn't matter. The manufacturer doesn't recommend you go over 150 psi for the crankcase. So I try and stay around somewhere around 150, 175. So what we're going to do is we're just going to keep an eye on this, and we shouldn't have any movement. Alright, we're just going to basically do a little bubble solution here on our connections that we made while we're doing a hold test. And I just do this, just, you know, double, triple check everything. I'm just going to put a little... There we go, get a little light on it. Just get a little soap on there. Now I use the Refrigeration Technologies Big Blue Micro Leak Detector Solution. It's pretty good. Okay, so our unit was originally in a vertical position. Now we've gone to a horizontal position. So now that we've got this, got dust on this thing from all the construction. So what we'll do is this was our primary in the vertical position, so we're going to plug this up. We'll knock this little knockout out here, and this will be our primary because it's in the lowest position for our horizontal application, and this will be our secondary here. And I'm not going to run a secondary off of here. I'm just going to run a primary here, and I'm going to run a dedicated line off my pan. So that'd be two separate lines, but I didn't run three. I thought it'd just be overkill because we got our pan switch that I hooked up yesterday over there. And that's one of those magnetic reed switches. Those I find are the most dependable. It's actually a magnetic. There's actually no mechanical parts that move that can mess up. It actually has, let's see if I can get it right. Right there in the top, it has a magnetic reader. And in the bottom, it's just a magnet. And when the magnet goes so close, the little reader reads it. So there's really no moving mechanical parts on it to go bad or stick or anything like that or corrode. So that's probably the most dependable switch I can get. I have put some switches here in the condensate pan. You know, those the condensate pan on the condensate line. I've had problems with those. A couple callbacks where the unit shut down, things like that. So I stopped running the switches that are actually on the condensate line themselves. You guys let me know if you've had any problems out of them either. But anyway, that's my story about that. Let's get to putting this guy up and getting the panels back on here. We started out 174.8, and after 15 minutes we've dropped to 173.8, which is a 1 psi drop, which is fine, which may or may not be fine. We need to do some more tests. We need to let some more time go by and see if it drops any more. So we'll do another 15-minute hold on it, just leave it for another 15 minutes and see where we go. 15 minutes later here, and we're exactly where we were when we started the second 15-minute hold. So we have, what that tells me is we have absolutely no leak, because for the second 15-minute hold interval we didn't drop even 1/10 of a psi. So that's why I really like these digital gauges. They really are super accurate compared to just the dial gauges. That's why it's important, I believe, to not only do a 15-minute hold, but to do another one after that, to take a reading after the first 15 minutes and see where you're at, and then do another 15 after that and see where you're at then. Usually if you have a drop within the first 15 minutes and then you take a reading, and then you have a drop within the second 15-minute hold interval, and pretty much you definitely have a leak. But as you can see, we had a 1 psi drop during the first 15-minute hold, and we've had a 0 drop, pressure drop, during the second 15-minute hold. So we're good. Just goes on here. Basically, we just got a T on our low side. We got our low side hose going up to our unit for the vacuum, and off the T we've got our vacuum gauge, and of course the center hose hooked up to our plantier. So let's go ahead and start this, guys. I think we've got enough oil in here. So our supply is 16-inch, as well as our return, and the box ductboard that they had up there was like 20 by 14 that the branch runs, that the two main runs tapped into. So basically what we did was we got some ductboard here and fashioned this out a new box here, and basically made a 22 by 20, and you guys will look inside here. Just basically out of one solid piece. So let's get this thing together. So there we go. And we'll cut it the size when we get up there. So let's get to tearing that old box out and getting a new one in. We extended out our run instead of going into our box there, out to our trunk line here. And here we are with our new box. And we got it all hooked up to our transition, to our branches here. And I'm going to mastic all this up, but this is just rough. I just set this in. You can see I got still got some tape on the joints, so the duct doesn't, elbows don't slide on me, but here's the final shot. Here's everything mastic funneled out. Right before we wrap it up. New box there, 16-inch return and supply.
Spores from a parasitic fungus called cordyceps have infiltrated their bodies and their minds. Those afflicted are quickly taken away and dumped. Its infected brain directs its